I want to talk a little bit about a pioneer, an innovator, you could say, in various ways. And even for music fans, many people probably don't even know who she is and what she's done. First of all, I could say, as a pioneer, she's the pioneer of a musical instrument called the synthesizer. It's a keyboard instrument, but it's also an electronic instrument that makes sounds of its own or that might copy already existing sounds in an analog form. Many people know what an analog or digital synthesizer is. You see it in many concerts. Well, she made an album with electronic versions of pieces by Johann Sebastian Bach. And it was a very famous, well-received album. It came out in 1968. It won several Grammys. It was a platinum-selling record, literally record. And it was called Switched on Bach. She's also done the soundtracks of some famous movies that you probably have seen or at least heard of. The Shining, A Clockwork Orange, and Tron. As a collaborator, she's even worked with, did a whimsical version of Peter and the Wolf with Weird Al Yankovic. As a scientist and an audio engineer, she created what's called the Wurlitzer 2, kind of a hybrid between a synthesizer and an organ. So quite an amazing woman, and she's done a lot of other things too. And also from the 70s to the 80s, Walter Carlos transitioned to Wendy Carlos, and it was a long process of change. Yes, she is a trans woman. Long before it became a topic of controversy in the 21st century, she was just living her life. She didn't keep it secret, but she also didn't make a big political issue out of it either. And just like with the LGBT movement, a lot of people don't know the history of Stonewall, and what that was all about. And if you're interested, I suggest looking that up so that you're knowledgeable about it before talking about LGBT issues, LGBTQ or whatever issues. But I wanted to point that out to you, and I'm going to show you a couple of videos now of Wendy Carlos. And you can see literally what I'm talking about from 1970 to the late 80s, the transition and a little bit of an idea of what that looked like.
Let me try and show you how we get some of these sounds. First of all, none of them exist as a particular sound as they would on an electronic organ. There's no magic button marked trumpet or violin or drums. You have to build every sound. And to start to build these sounds, you have to start with something pretty simple. And here are the simple things we start with. There are 5 of them. The simplest one of all is something that any lab technician must have seen at one time or another. It's called a sine wave. It's very smooth, very flute-like. A little bit more complicated wave is called sawtooth. And it's called sawtooth because on an oscilloscope screen it looks just like a sawtooth. And this one is a little richer, a little reedier, and it resembles a lot of sounds found on home electronic organs. Okay, we're in tune. Everything sounds like it's about right. I'll start the 8-track, and you'll hear all the other components of this score, and I'll add in the solo.
This is Wendy Carlos in her Greenwich Village studio. Her synthesized versions of the classics were loved by some, hated by others, but noticed by virtually everyone.
Right now we're listening to the 8-track, and we're mixing, sort of playing the role of the conductor, putting together, in this case, a pair of tracks which has all of the string section. That sounds like this. There's a harpsichord track. There are 2 flutes. And there's this nice solo that's split up into 2 tracks. Let's put them all together. Needs a little more echo. Yeah, that's good.